Okay, this is another battle report from Ragnarok. This is my Orcs and Goblins versus Ogre Kingdoms. Ogre Kingdoms is an army I've fought maybe once before in the last 15 years, so not very familiar with it. Here's the setup. You see we have kind of a pillar in the middle. We considered that impassable terrain, woods and etc. I'll be going through each list. Okay, here we have a Goblin Wolf big boss on a chariot and then a normal Goblin chariot next to it. We have some Night Goblins, some skirmishers in the wood, we have Spider Riders, we have more Night Goblins, and then the Black Orc unit with the big boss, and then the Giant, and then another unit of Night Goblins. And on the hill we have some Night Goblins with bows, a couple War Machines, another Snotling pump wagon, the Wolf Riders, my unit of Orcs that has the battle standard, and my genius thought on this was actually not at all the plan. When I went to place them, I realized I had placed them out of the center. I hadn't left enough room, so battle standard way over here on the edge. And finally another pump wagon. He's got pretty much these are all bull units except for the two lead belchers, and I think the bigger unit in the back is Iron Guts. It's got 4 Iron Guts, it's got his battle banner, and it's got his Lord character. And then he has 2 of the casters behind it. Here to the left, on the left flank, he has Yetis in the wood, and then those are, I believe, Man-Eaters they're called, and Gnoblars on the far left flank. So, Orcs and Goblins win the first turn, and if you'll see all the units still on the battle line, that would be the Spider Riders, the Orcs with the battle standard at the top, and the Night Goblins. These are all the people who failed Animosity. I had some other people who rolled 6s. I don't find rolling a 6 as big of a problem as some Orc and Goblin players, because if I'm not ready to engage, usually I just don't move them as far in the movement phase, and that's what happened here. That centerpiece, I was really not wanting the Giant to get shot at the beginning, so I moved him up there, but I ended up really cramping the units up. So that was kind of a mistake. I managed to solve it later, but that wasn't the best of intention. Down here at the bottom, I just moved everything up, getting ready for charges. And I'm trying to bait and flee with the fast cav up there on the top. So here's a look from the other side. The Snotling pump wagons didn't go too far. Orc shooting, I did hit with one of the 2 bolt throwers into one of his lead belcher units, but I didn't manage to kill one of the guys. I wounded him, didn't kill him. Orc magic was useless and remained so the entire game. Only a few of the bulls of the gut spells got off, and if I remember where, I'll tell them, but magic largely had no effect on this game. Okay, Ogre Kingdom's turn 1. He starts moving things up, doesn't overcommit really anywhere, mostly he's just positioning for next turn. One thing he does is start shooting. Shoots with both lead belchers. The top lead belcher shooting at my squigs was just out of range. The bottom one shot Night Goblins. Here's a close-up look at some of his figures. I thought they were really nicely painted. He said they're not done yet, so this is just a start. He's going to add the shadowing and everything. Oh, I should comment on the banners here. He has them because they're cool models, and he eventually wants banners, but there's the only actual banner in the Ogre army is that battle standard. So the shooting does kill off a few of the Night Goblins off the big unit, and misses, as I said, the squigs, but manages to roll misfires and does 4 wounds to himself. So that lead belcher unit is down to 1 guy that's wounded. Alright, my turn moving forward. I'm pretty sure both my Goblin units were in range, both my chariots, so I charged with both, and both fail their fear test. Yay, Goblins! The Spiders do actually move up and shoot and caused 1 wound, as you can see, to that lead belcher, so now it has 2. And the Fanatics started moving up. You see the one Fanatic went right through that front unit and killed off one of the bulls. And on the other side, these guys actually got an here we go result and got a 6 and then another 6 inches forward. So for the first time that I can remember, I released fanatics prior to my movement phase. And we actually had to look up to see if they moved again during the movement phase. We decided they didn't because it says on later turns, so we assumed that the fanatics don't move twice in the phase when they came out with a here we go, and I think that was totally fair. You can see the other fanatic went right through his other lead belcher unit, which I had done some wounds to previously and did more. The Snotling pump wagon went up there to act as a speed bump. You know, not really going to be very effective in that role. And you see the giant decided to move over and help these guys, as I assumed that the center was going to be kind of bottled up and there wasn't room for him. On this flank, the Boar Boys finally decide to join, but I didn't show it earlier, or I forgot to mention it earlier, but he did charge and I fled. And I realized at this point I'd forgotten to pay for the musician. So when I rolled a 7 on my turn, they didn't rally, fled right over the 2 War Machine crews. Luckily, one of the 2 War Machines held, but the other one's running away. Other Snot pump wagon is moving forward, as you see. Magic doesn't do much, and there's no close combat. So here's another look at that. All set up to be a charge, and they both fail their fear rolls. So his turn. This flank moves forward. The Yetis charge the pump wagon, and he actually charged through the fanatics. So the lead belcher charges through the or was next to the fanatic. Didn't have to charge through the fanatic. And contacts this Night Goblin unit. The Yetis charge the pump wagon, and this is just, I made the mistake, I forgot this could happen. So of course he fought the pump wagon battle first, killed it, overran, and got to join in this battle. Now I'm going, oh great, here go the goblins and my giants. But the goblins' nets worked. I actually got a couple hits with the spears, and needing like a 6 or a 5 to hold, I roll a 4, and these Night Goblins actually held up under the charge. So yay, go guys, and big use out of those nets and stuff, and the spears, which normally people say don't take. But if I'd done hand weapon and shield, all of his attacks were either strength 4 armor piercing or strength 5, so I had no armor save anyway, and this is why I think the spears are justified. The other unit of bulls charges up into the Night Goblin unit there, and they take some wounds from the fanatic. They take some more wounds. They kill off, you see, a couple Night Goblins, but again, losing their having their strength go down for one really saved a lot of goblins. So on the other side, on my turn 3, the other side I don't show, but the lead belcher over there charges into the squig hoppers and kills a couple. So over here, no, sorry, the bull unit does, and loses some to fanatics that did overruns. He kills most of the fanatics. He actually steps on one with a unit of bulls, just trying to get rid of them, because they were positioned to just go smashing all the way through his lines, and he was pretty worried about that. Orc Goblin turn 3, my giant's able to join the fight, rolls yell and ball up here. And the big fight happens. I charge his tyrant unit, and both my black orcs and my night goblins get in. The night goblins net him. The black orc kills off his tyrant in the challenge, and he takes just a boatload of wounds. My other little night goblin unit killed the bulls it was fighting, and went first, so it overran into the flank. And the goblins carried the day. They did more wounds than the black orcs. They just killed that unit, and then I ran it down. It wasn't able to get away. I overrun into this small unit of bulls that's what's left after stomping on a fanatic and one of his casters up there on the top. The squigs are slowly killing the lead belcher. The squigs are slowly killing the bulls, and that chariot that charged killed that last lead belcher. Over here on the other side, with the yell and ball result, we ran down the Yetis, didn't quite catch these guys. The Snotling pump wagon gets in and damages the manhunters, or manders. On his turn 3, he finally kills off the pump wagon, but his Noblars squabble and don't charge. Here he loses all the fights and everybody's running away. So on my turn 4, I move the giant behind those man-eaters, turn and shoot with these guys, and shoot him with my war machines, and I kill off the man-eater unit. You can see there it's gone. And these guys declare charges on fleeing people or run them off. And at this point, my opponent says, all I've got left is a unit of Noblars and that one caster, so he concedes. Hope you enjoyed the battle.